In Botswana's Chobe floodplain, the rainy season is at its peak. For the herbivores, it's paradise. But for the predators, it's a constant challenge. In the dense bush, their prey has the advantage. Einstein is hungry, but forced into hiding to avoid rival males. The Ihaha pride struggles without their key members, while their males make forays into the waterfront pride territory. All the lionesses need is a stable environment to raise their cubs. But every day, the two neighboring prides inch closer to conflict. On the banks of the Chobe River, two rival lion prides compete for prime territory. Mad Eye Moody rules the Ihaha pride. But right now, he's on land belonging to the waterfront pride, brazenly helping himself to their resources. It's as if he's already laid claim to this turf. More land means more hunting area and a greater potential for his family to flourish. That's what every pride male wants. It's been a week since he and his brother, Pretty Boy, killed a precious waterfront cub. They've drawn first blood, and they show no signs of backing down. The intentions of Mad Eye Moody and Pretty Boy are clear, but to take over this territory, they must first overthrow the ruling males. Tom Tom and his brother, Caller, have ruled on the waterfront for 5 years. That's a long time in lion leadership. Pride males age quickly under the pressure of protecting their territory. But the brothers won't give up without a fight. Tom Tom signposts his scent along the furthest boundaries of their turf. Caller has moved on to the river border to keep up a presence there. Protecting their pride is a big job for two lions. But their family hangs in the balance. If Mad Eye and Pretty Boy take over, they'll likely kill the waterfront cubs and claim the females. Not far from Tom Tom's boundary, Einstein picks up on the warning scent and cautiously keeps to the outskirts of his old territory. Timid and alone, he poses very little threat to the territorial males. But he's a young lion entering his prime, and that means he's competition. Any encounter could put him in danger. But another young male has been hanging around and seems almost friendly. He, too, has been cast out of his family. He's younger than Einstein, with barely a hint of a mane. Even so, an alliance would bring security and better hunting. The young outcasts size each other up. Einstein makes the first move. Greeting the loner with a head rub, he transfers his scent and invites the stranger to bond. The young male accepts the offer. They're not blood brothers, but Einstein finally has an ally. In the neighboring territory, Broken Tail, the leader of the Ihaha Pride, surveys the lush plain. She can see prey, but she's got a problem. Her cubs, while large, are still vulnerable. She needs to hunt, but doesn't want to leave them alone. And her loyal babysitter, Broken Paw, is missing. Broken Paw has always lagged behind due to her injury. But it's been 2 weeks since she last joined her Ihaha sisters. Her absence doesn't bode well and puts a lot of pressure on the rest of the small pride. Broken Tail is also suffering the lack of support from her pride males. Pretty Boy and Mad Eye Moody are more focused on conquering waterfront territory than defending the family. The youngsters are 8 months old, and soon they'll be able to join the hunt. But that doesn't help Broken Tail right now. She has a pride to feed. And the longer she and her 2 sisters go without food, the less energy they have to hunt or keep a careful eye on the cubs. During the wet season, the marshy plain hosts some of the largest numbers of elephants on the planet. Fueled by an abundance of energy-rich grazing, even this lone, single-tusked bull feels frisky enough to challenge the lethargic pride. Broken Tail faces a tough choice as pride leader. Leave the youngsters vulnerable and set out to hunt? Or move the pride on and search for her crippled babysitter, Broken Paw? It's the season for many to prove their strength and resilience. Even the gentle giraffes compete for territory and breeding rights. Using their necks as pendulums, they deliver powerful body blows with their short, bony horns. It's a testosterone-fueled waltz. And the victor is not always obvious. Just like the outcome of their battles, the rainy season is unpredictable. The weather can turn in a moment, leaving the contest undecided. While the rains nurture her habitat, the injured matriarch of the waterfront pride, Kalwezi, finds solace in the company of her 3 cubs. Her wounds are still raw from her recent battle with rivals Mad Eye Moody and Pretty Boy. A fight which claimed the life of one of her cubs. For now, she lays low. While she's in pain, she's vulnerable. And so are her babies. The little ones groom the raindrops from their mother's back in an unspoken body language, which reinforces their connection to each other. Raising cubs on her own is hard. But integrating them into a pride is risky. Especially one as large as the waterfront. There's also the added threat of the rival males on their territory. It's safer all round if she keeps her cubs away from conflict. If she can hold out long enough for her wounds to heal and her cubs to grow a little stronger, they can all rejoin the pride. Close to the river boundary, their father, Caller, announces his dominion over the territory. His rulership is under threat, and his pride is fragmented. With Kalwezi laying low and Tom Tom patrolling the farthest reaches of the territory, the waterfront pride is missing the main pillars of their hierarchy. Even with their leaders absent, the 7 waterfront lionesses and 4 young males still have plenty of muscle for hunting. Though the lush green of the wet season does pose a few challenges. The grass is high and limits their vision. And green is not the best color for camouflage. The hunters' tawny coats now stand out against their backdrop. But one of their go-to strategies is constant. Even in the wet, the river remains the center of prey activity. Now, the long grass is their ally, obscuring them from view while they move in closer. A single lioness walks in as a decoy, sending the impalas into collective indecision. It should give the other hunters time to move into position. But the herd bolts early, escaping along the swampy riverbank, which is tricky terrain for the lions. The impalas flaunt their agility. They can jump almost 3 times their own height, despite the soft footing. Further downriver, just across the boundary of the Waterfront Pride's territory, Einstein can finally relax. His survival statistics have improved dramatically now that he has an ally. They can take turns to keep watch for rival males. But the pair have yet to seal their partnership with a successful hunt. Their options are scarce and daunting. Both lions are lean and restless. They're a textbook young coalition, limited by their lack of hunting experience. And perhaps courage. When Einstein was part of the Waterfront Pride, he dined on elephants. But that was thanks to 8 formidable lionesses. He can't take on these matriarchs with only one hunting partner. A young calf wandering off on its own is tantalizing. But in the wet season, the herd is well-fed and strong. There's no getting through their defenses. Einstein's alliance is not helping to ease his hunger. While the lions struggle to make a living in the wet season, the neighbors profit from lush grazing and abundant water. For the elephants, this is the season of bliss and vitality. Across the floodplain, foragers and grazers capitalize on the long, bountiful days. Even the buffalo seem relaxed. Chewing the cud on the riverbanks is not a pastime they get to enjoy in the dry season. The large herds have headed inland, but some of the older bulls and cows with very young calves stayed on to plunder the lush terrain. These are the stragglers, a ragtag herd of the old and the vulnerable. At sunset, buffalo usually head into the thickets for protection. But it's hard to resist the feast underfoot. It's an interesting opportunity for Pretty Boy. He's scouting for trouble on the waterfront pride lands. But he won't pass up the chance of fresh buffalo while he hunts down his rivals. Caught out in the open, in fading light, the buffalo panic. The dust settles, exposing Pretty Boy's misdemeanor. He's killed a calf. Right at the heart of Caller and Tom Tom's territory. Hunting on his rival's turf is the ultimate insult. For now, the opportunistic jackals are his only witnesses. But he stashes his meal out of sight, just in case. The scavenger awaits his turn. When Pretty Boy takes a break, the jackal moves in. Pretty Boy won't miss the vile stomach contents. But to this jackal, it's a tasty takeaway. While the Ihaha males pillage the waterfront pride's territory, Broken Tail and the rest of the pride have tracked down their missing member. They finally discovered the reason behind their babysitter's disappearance. Broken Paw is nursing 2 tiny cubs of her own. The Ihaha pride will have the new blood it so desperately needs. And Broken Paw finally has her own babies to nurture and raise. As a cripple, she needs all the help she can get. Fortunately, the Ihaha pride is small and not too intimidating for tiny cubs. Broken Paw takes a chance and brings her newborns into the open to meet their extended family. The cubs are bold and curious, and their first adventurous steps are bound to attract attention. One of their sub-adult cousins can't contain his curiosity. Which draws in another. It's early for these cubs to be meeting older pride members. Sub-adults are easily excited and unpredictable. One accidental bite or misjudged paw slap could have deadly consequences. Broken Paw won't be able to defend them. But she helped raise these two teenagers from cubs, and she places her ultimate trust in them. She keeps watch as the 4 young heirs to the Ihaha pride gently get acquainted. Broken Paw now has her own babysitters to help share the load. Knowing she has the support of her family, Mum and cubs can rest easy. Across the border of the waterfront territory, Kalwezi's cubs don't have the luxury of family to look out for them. Kalwezi has chosen to keep them isolated from the rest of the waterfront pride. She's finally healed enough to go hunting, but that means she's left them alone for the first time. Dry elephant dung is a useful distraction until she returns with meat. With rival males in the territory, the cubs are in constant danger. But Kalwezi needs to hunt, or they'll all end up starving. Weeks of suckling 3 cubs without a solid meal herself has left her ravaged and painfully thin. She lacks the energy required to hunt alone. But there may be one last saving grace. It's Kiza, Kalwezi's sister. She too is taking refuge from the pride. This chance encounter could change the fate of Kalwezi and her cubs. It's a ray of hope, but she just needs one more stroke of luck. A lone hippo out on land is vulnerable, but it's still a formidable menu choice for 2 lionesses. These sisters have hunted together their whole lives. An unspoken synchronicity exists between them, and they take on the challenge. Kiza bows out early. She shows signs of producing milk and maybe nursing cubs of her own. It would explain why she left the pride and her reluctance to risk injury. But she leaves Kalwezi with all hopes of a meal dashed. She returns to her cubs without fresh meat. But at least they're all alive and accounted for. A cub's first instinct is usually to suckle, but their mother's stressed demeanor warns them to give her space. The youngsters look for relief in sleep. But the gnawing in their bellies won't rest. Her cubs plead for milk. But Kalwezi has gone so long without eating that she has nothing to offer them. At the peak of the wet season, the young cubs suffer from their mother's drought. They've survived so much in their first 3 months already. But fighting starvation will be their greatest challenge yet. As the days grow shorter and the rainstorms fewer, the marshy floodplain starts to dry. Kiza, Kalwezi's sister, still keeps her distance from the pride. A single cub validates her reluctance to hunt with Kalwezi. Hiding in the thickets won't bring food to their table. So, like the jackals, she roams the open plain, hoping to scavenge a meal. But as with Kalwezi, Kiza and her cub are more vulnerable without the rest of their pride. She calls out to her family. Caller, Tom Tom. But no roars greet back. Not far away, Einstein hears Kiza's roars, but quietly keeps to himself. His efforts to form a coalition failed. His mainless ally has left him. Once again, he's alone and under pressure from all sides. Mad Eye Moody is on the rampage. He's following the scent markers left by Tom Tom, but using them to track down his rival. Einstein is stuck in no man's land, right in the middle of 4 hostile males hunting each other down. His only choice is to hide. Across the plain, Kiza's roars reached further than just Einstein's ears. But she's attracted the wrong attention. Not one of her own waterfront males, but Mad Eye Moody, the invader. Kiza has to keep her cool. This could be a death sentence for her cub. His intention to mate is clear. Kiza may be the first victim of a hostile takeover. She needs to play this just right. She humors Mad Eye's advances, luring him away from her youngster. But despite her efforts, her frightened cub wants his mother. The cub has no idea he's walking on a razor's edge. Kiza knows the risks. But she doubles down on her plan. She's unlikely to be in estrus while nursing. But she performs the perfect dance of deception. Placating Mad-Eye and saving her cub. For now. In a bid to save her own cubs, Kalwezi is also forced to make some tough decisions. The scent of a carcass lures her into the open. This time, she brings the cubs with her. It's a huge risk if there are other predators around. But this could be their last chance. There's food, but it won't come for free. Three lionesses guard their kill. Does she back away to protect her cubs, or does she take a chance? Kalwezi recognizes them from the waterfront pride, but lean times can spark aggression. She waits until they've eaten their fill. And only then moves in on the remains. Mother and cubs make the most of their scavenged meal. And the hunters are too full to mind sharing. Kalwezi put her faith in her family. And her pot-bellied babies will pull through and get another chance. While the rival Ihaha males invade their territory, Kalwezi and Kiza hold their nerve and defy the odds to protect the next generation of their pride. Next time on Pride Rules, Einstein attempts